So Season 5 from Modern Warfare 2 kicks off tomorrow. So today, we're going to be running down everything you need to know in regards to the upcoming update, content, and everything beyond. So as we go along, drop your thoughts down below on what you think about what we've seen in Season 5 so far in Modern Warfare 2. Do you like the weaponry coming, the maps, modes, DMZ changes? Whatever the case, feel free to drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, you find it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay there with all things Modern Warfare 2, Season 5, Modern Warfare 3, and X-Defiant content here on the channel, and maybe even some more stuff here starting on the second channel relatively soon. I'd love to have in the community either way, but for now, let's jump into it. So first and foremost, when does Season 5 actually begin? Well, it starts as of tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific, August 2nd. That is equating out to 12 noon Eastern, 5 p.m. in the UK, and just after midnight in places like Sydney, Australia, 2 a.m. to be exact. Additionally, on screen are some other different time zones that you may end up being in that if that doesn't answer it for you, hopefully the rest of the time zones listed here can or at least give you a relative understanding of what that can convert to where you may be in the world. Now, as for preloads, as of recording this, nothing is specifically mentioned, but as the video going live, it is possible that there could be a preload live. Though my guess, if that does happen, is that it'll be a short window of time and likely a PlayStation exclusive like the last few have been. Now, in terms of seasonal duration and length, well, there was a number of rumors beforehand around the launch of Modern Warfare 2 that it sounded like Season 5 could be our final season. However, it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case anymore, as while the game's season launches on the 2nd, it's stated by the Xbox dashboard that Season 5 will actually conclude on September 20th, meaning that we will indeed see a Season 6 ahead of Modern Warfare 3's launch, and that this is actually going to be one of the shortest seasons we've seen to date, perhaps even the shortest, just 7 weeks long at this point, if that does indeed hold up. But that said, let's jump into the content at hand that you can expect to see as of tomorrow. Firstly, starting tomorrow at launch, we'll have the new weapons of the FR Avancer and the Carrack 300, those coming along in the Battle Pass. Now, in season, we'll also see a couple of more, the M13C, and unnamed pistols, SMGs, and melees, those likely being the Staccato 2011, MP5 SD, and the Pickaxe, but we'll touch on that a little bit later. Maps, we have the 6v6 map of Punta Mar, which is an original map taking place in Las Almas. Many thought it may have been something like Favela, but this is its own original spin here with this and its own thing. I'm really curious to see, though, once the map does launch here, taking a look at that TAC map, seeing if it does fit in with the existing TAC map that we've seen for Las Almas, the Warzone map that's apparently coming out with Modern Warfare 3, but has been there since the Modern Warfare 2 campaign. That's something that I'm curious to see if that is another puzzle piece that comes together and kind of solidifies that idea more, that we'll see this as a part of the next Warzone map later on down the line. But for right now, that's what we're going to be getting here with Season 5. We also will see the 6v6 map of Strike, which is a remake, remaster. Right now, I don't know there's necessarily too much to tell if it is one or the other. A slight deviation in the original architecture of the map itself, but it is the classic from COD 4, so if you recognize this and you remember how to play it, you're going to thrive on this map. It is going to be very similar, if not identical, to that of what the classic was in COD 4, and then most recently in COD 4 Remastered back in 2016 and 2017. For Gunfight, we'll also see the two maps of Lounge, which might be taken from the Chicago high-rise final mission of the campaign. Not entirely sure just yet on that. It looks really open based off of the key images that we ended up seeing for that. And then Canal, a map from Vondel. Now, in season, as we'll touch on a little further in the more comprehensive in-season segment of the video, we'll see that the DRC Zone 1 is going to be a 6v6 map as well, which looks to be brand new, but it may also be taken from a part of the existing Building 21 exclusion zone from DMZ. But either way, personally, I think Building 21 is pretty cool, has a lot of potential for lore and gameplay wise. So whichever it ends up being, I think that I'd be okay with it. To me, this, even if it is taken from Building 21, isn't as much an issue like something from Al Mazrah or Vondel or something like that. Building 21 is a sub-niche map in a niche mode, so it's pulling from a lesser used location by comparison, in my opinion at least. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, it just isn't played as much by players as Al Mazrah, Ashika Island, Vondel, and it's not one of those things where it's just like, ugh, again, this, because while I'm sure for DMZ players, it's something that is very well frequented, again, that's a very small subset of the player base by comparison to MP and standard Battle Royale and Resurgence players. But anyways, moving on, we'll see the operators. There's a surprising number of them actually in the Battle Pass this season, which is nice because normally we only end up having 1 or 2 operators in the Battle Pass, and 2 was even recent as well. But we have Oz, Graves, Mila, Velikan, and Arthur, which is a Blackcell exclusive here with this, all coming within the Battle Pass itself. As we'll touch on in a little bit, there are a few more coming later on down the line, but again, we'll save that for the in-season segment. We also have the new modes of Havoc and Big Capture the Flag. Big Capture the Flag being what it sounds like, much more players, and Havoc being a modifier-based game mode where players will start with one modifier at the beginning of each match, but once a squad is the first to reach the multiple of 12 kills, 24, 36, 48, 60, and so on, the game will add a new modifier to the match for both teams. So things like ammo feeder, which is auto reloads on weapons, boots off the ground, which is moon gravity, flame shot, which is a flame-tipped crossbows and molotovs only, hero landing, which is landing from a big drop, causes a frag grenade-like explosion around you, and perspective shift, where everyone swaps to third-person camera view. So it is going to be a very hectic game mode, and honestly, kind of looking forward to seeing how this plays out. It sounds like a lot of fun. Now, as we talked about with that operator of Arthur, Blackcell does, of course, return here with this. This is going to be a given at this point. It is something that I'd say, yeah, it's a bummer to see it return, that there's a real-life $30 counterpart is the only way to upgrade your battle pass, and it can't be purchased with COD points. But truth be told, again, this isn't going away anytime soon. So at this point, it is what it is. I'm not going to pretend like, oh, this is such a shame, because like we knew this was coming. But Blackcell will be that premium upgrade for Season 5's Battle Pass, and however you feel about it, whether you feel it is premium or not, that's just the standard messaging they use for it. But Blackcell will give you instant access to not only the Battle Pass, but also a new Tracer blueprint for what appears to be the TAC 56, the new operator of Arthur, a new finishing move with Arthur's Doggo, a talking gun screen, not sure how that one's going to work, 1100 COD points, and 20 tier skips, 25 if you're on PS4 or PS5. Additionally, you'll see more tiered items for 6 more blueprints with tracers, 8 additional operator variants, and 2 vehicle skins. Also, you will be able to get those weapons and some blueprints for them immediately with the placement near the Blackcell starting point on the Battle Pass sectors. So that's something that is another added benefit here to that, I guess. But I will say, for once, the cosmetics on it look pretty cool, but whether it's worth half the game's price is entirely up to you. Now, beyond that, we will see new prestiges added in, upwards of Prestige 21, and a new max level of 1050. So a lot more grinding here to do, and honestly, myself, been slacking a lot. The last couple of seasons haven't really been intriguing to me, so we'll see if I can get out of the, I think, like 400 range or something like that. We'll see if that happens. But anyways, beyond that, we'll also see seasonal events here coming in the launch window. The new event of the Faction Showdown is something that's going to be coming, and I'm hoping this has some meaning for the storyline and narrative, because it's Task Force 141 and Shadow Company. It says they're ready to finish the job with Graves and Shadow Company's return. So can't imagine that would go over too well narratively, given that, you know, Graves and Shadow Company tried to eliminate Task Force 141 of the campaign, but I guess that's neither here nor there for right now. But this event starts on the 4th, so shortly after the launch, going into the weekend starting on Friday, and will only go until Wednesday the 16th. This is an interesting one because unlike other faction-based events that we've seen, like the Last Stand event in Warzone Caldera, the rewards for both sides are not locked based off of what you choose first and only first. The base entry to this is getting 50 kills on operators, which is very, very obtainable. But from there, you can end up completing 5 different challenges for either Task Force 141 or Shadow Company, entirely your choice. But the nice part is that you can complete actually all 10. You're not locked into just one specific faction like you were the heroes or the villains. So if you want to jump back and forth between Task Force 141 and Shadow Company, it is something you can do, and each side completing all 5 challenges gives you a completionist blueprint for each faction. Additionally, there will be another community aspect to this here where everybody's kill totals goes towards this, and depending on if players are signed up for 141 or Shadow Company, that depends on that community outcome reward. So players who complete 5 challenges for a faction will then be entered to earn a specific skin for whatever side wins, either Task Force 141 or Shadow Company, a double battle pass token, and a universal camo. So that's pretty cool to see as well. Additionally, tying into some rewards here with this, we will see that the Faction Showdown event has tier skips, vehicle skins, battle pass tokens, calling cards, emblems, blueprints, and a universal camo across, again, those individual challenges, but also completionist and event completion items as well. Beyond that, though, we have additional rewards for Vondel BR, which we now have the Champion's Quest, the Nuke contract, being added in with that as well. So similar to standard BR's Champion's Quest, it's now for Vondel, where you have to win 5 matches of Warzone in a row, and then the contract can spawn. This season's premier rewards are only for Vondel, it seems, with no word on if Al Mazrah will be rotating out and adding in something new. If it's something that Season 4's Champion's Quest rewards will stay for Season 5, we don't quite know at this moment, but it is something that Vondel is having this added in particular. Now, firstly, there's a change to the challenge itself, where it says, first, all elements must be held and never dropped, a prerequisite that now also applies to any Champion's Quest you undertake. That means an element cannot be dropped in the water and saved for the end. If an element is dropped, it must be recaptured to continue the quest. Just do know that going in. This, though, it's going to be a little bit bit different. It's not the same exact elements that you'll have to control. This, we now have the elements of gallium, deuterium, and neptunium. Gallium reveals all nearby team members who held it previously as if you were affected by a snapshot grenade. Deuterium fatigues operators, which includes causing them to cough if they try sprinting. And then neptunium, this will periodically electrocute all nearby operators as well as haywiring vehicles with similar effects as the shock stick. So that one might be something that is going to be interesting, that if you're trying to just drive around in Vondel, might actually end up hurting you more than helping you. Beyond that, we saw some Warzone changes, but surprisingly not a whole ton were detailed, which is strange because it seems like Warzone is one of those key focal points every single season. But we do have the new vehicles of the MRAP and Dirt Bike, which the MRAP is the mine-resistant ambush protected vehicle, which is essentially just an armored truck, and then the Dirt Bike is the Dirt Bike. Assumedly, we'll also see a ton of weapon balancing as per norm with the seasonal updates as well, but nothing was given explicitly up front just yet. DMZ though, there's some really cool stuff, I think. Now, this is the introduction of the Coney group, the new bad guys, and what's setting up for the stage of the MW3 reveal event, but it stated battle rages between the existing factions and a new threat, Coney. Both sides will be fighting with everything they've got, calling in kill streaks in what is known as the active combat zones. Intel suggests that higher quality supplies and gear are more present in active combat zones compared to single faction areas. In Al Mazrah, all cartel are killed in action within the Koshi complex. Coney found it, completely gutted it, and found some additional hidden tunnels under the city, implying there's going to be new ways to enter Koshi complex is my guess, but it says we also have lost building 21 to Coney group. With your help, we can get it back. So all operators, Shadow Company are your family now. We will not take the first shot on any operator in any DMZ exclusion zone and fight arm in arm with you in our battle against Coney. However, know this, friendly fire will not be tolerated. So there's some cool stuff narratively going on, and also it seems like we're going to have some gameplay adjustments like those active combat zones, which seem to be sort of those high value zones with what we saw in Caldera, but in DMZ. So interested to see how that all plays out. Additionally, we'll also see new things like the disguise field upgrade, which was added in by accident in season 3 it seemed, but it will allow you to disguise yourself as a member of an AI faction to reduce incoming hostility from them. We see battle revive being introduced, which, like battle rage mixed with a self-revive, it's an experimental stimulant offering an adrenaline rush as you complete a self-revive. It will immediately activate after getting up from last stand and will activate the battle rage effects, allowing you to heal quicker and constantly refreshing your attack sprint for a short period of time as well. The self-revive box will be available, where it's going to be an armor box style upgrade that holds multiple self-revives, great for a squad. The scuba mask is being introduced, where it acts as a rebreather, providing protection from radioactive winds, gas, and allows for underwater breathing. So kind of like a jack of all trades mask, it seems like. And then additionally, we'll see new missions, urgent missions, and other stuff in the forward operating base. Now, that's stuff that's coming at launch or in the launch window, but in season, we'll see a little bit more. We, of course, have that new Call of Duty 2023 reveal event. The blog post detailing what we can expect to see with Season 5 really didn't give us a whole ton, other than the fact that we see Observatory with what looks to be some sort of chemical or nuclear fallout here with this. So playing into that, and there are some leaks in regards to what that will actually be, but that's a different story for a different day. We'll see a new event happen at mid-season as well, seemingly as we have the last couple, where we're going to see new vehicle and weapon camo challenges, where it's stated players of both Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone should expect further unlock challenges as Season 5 continues, not least a series of tasks related to expertise with vehicles, as well as an in-depth camo challenge with suitably impressive rewards. So all for that kind of stuff. I'm a sucker for those camo challenges, completed all the last ones in within the first day or so definitely looking forward to doing that again. The new weapons of the M13C with a redacted unlock quality. Again, I personally think this is going to be something that we see tied to the COD 2023 event, but that's just theory right now. But then we also see the unnamed ones of what is likely going to be the MP5 SD, Staccato 2011, and the Pickaxe. Then we'll have the new 6v6 map of DRC Zone 1 in multiplayer. We'll see the modes of Face-Off 4v4. We'll see Fort Resurgence in Warzone, which is a slice of Al Mazrah, specifically the Al Baghra Fortress, and its greater surroundings. That'll be added to the Resurgence map rotation in Season 5. So that's something that's interesting, that we're not getting another Resurgence map that's new, but instead we're taking segments of the existing large map and putting it into the Resurgence modes. So curious to see how that will work out, if it's something that people will like it, dislike it because it isn't something new. I guess we'll wait and see. We'll also see other operators of 21 Savage, Mace, Nicki Minaj, Snoop Dogg, and maybe a couple others, but that is where we're at here in regards to what is upcoming for launch and also a little beyond. So that said, Season 5 looks to be the shortest at the moment for seasons in Modern Warfare 2, but looks to hold a decent bit here, actually. So I'm all for that. Let me know your thoughts down below. That's what we're going to call it, though. So drop your thoughts on what you think of Season 5. Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to? Maybe not so much. Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 2, Season 5, Modern Warfare 3, and X-Defiant content as well. I'd love to have you in the community. But for now, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.